Hello, everyone. My name is Mario Damiani. I'm with the admissions team of the International University of Monaco, and welcome to this special event about our MBA program. This is a quite unique event, actually, since it's not, as usual, a presentation of the program, but more of a conversation between the program director and a past MBA student, focused on her experience and the impact of the program on her career and, in general, on students' career. So during the event, you can use the Q&A section to ask any questions. We will answer to all of them. And now I'm pleased to introduce Professor Marika Taishav. Hello, Marika, Program Director of the MBA program.
Thank you very much, Mario. And thank you very much for everyone who's attending this very special session. And thank you in particular to Marina Vivian, who is our special guest this evening. And just to give you some background, Marina joined the program. I actually had to ask you, because it seems like yesterday that you graduated, Marina. And in fact, you entered the program as a part-time student in 2019, and you finished in the summer of 2021. So it's a part-time program, 2 years, and you were lucky enough to also be in the COVID, shall we say, era. So I know it's been quite a tumultuous, shall we say, a period for you. And I just want to thank you again for taking the time from your very busy schedule to join us tonight, to give everyone a little overview of the MBA program. So, if you could just share a brief introduction, about yourself. I think it'd be a great way to start.
Sure. Thank you, Marika, and thank you, Mario, for having me. So I'm currently the Senior Director of Communication, Events and Partnership at Silversea. Silversea is part of the Royal Caribbean Group, and actually is the brand specialized in ultra-luxury cruise segment. Previously, I worked for more than 15 years in the fast-moving consumer goods in beer corporation, including Nestlé, Barilla, among others. And this was a very important part of my career. I still believe that the experience in marketing in the fast-moving consumer goods is very comprehensive. It is a very tough environment, so it is one of the best schools, in my opinion, and was a very important step to bring me where I am today.
Excellent. So, with this incredible, very impressive professional background that you have, FMCG, Silversea, so from fast-moving consumer goods to luxury, hospitality and cruises, why did you decide to do an MBA?
Yeah, so actually I always wanted to take an MBA since I finished my master in economics. Some years ago, I always wanted to take an MBA, but I wanted to do so when the time was right, meaning not only in terms of time availability, that maybe is never an option, but in terms of me being ready, not only to learn, but to give to the other students. I think there is a big component about the exchange in terms of experience. So I really wanted to do it when I could not only refresh some concept, but also bring to the conversation, learn from other cultures, and really contribute to the class. Mm-hmm. That was the right moment for me when I started, and as you said, in 2019, I was already here in Monaco. I was working for Silversea, and I had this important career that I wanted to share with the other students.
Right. And again, I think that's a major factor of the MBA program, and any MBA program, in fact, in general. And that's the ability to interact with classmates who can be very different from you, because, your background was FMCG, luxury cruising and hospitality. We had other students, we had PhDs in physics, we had doctors, we had lawyers, so that we had dancers. So, the background of the MBA cohort, I'd say any MBA cohort, is very, very diverse. It's not like somebody going to a master's in finance or a master's in luxury, where basically it's a one-track mindset, one-track field. The MBA attracts people from a variety of backgrounds who have diverse career aspirations. And it's part of the learning experience, I think, to be able to interact with individuals with different backgrounds entirely. So
yeah, absolutely.
Give, and give and take within the cohorts is, I think, important.
It is. For me, it was a big component.
So, you decided to do an MBA. You've been thinking about it for a long time, and I think most people do think about it for a long time because it's a big investment in terms of time, energy, financing, etc. Why IUM?
So I think there are three components that actually played an important role for me deciding to take the MBA offered by the International University of Monaco. The first component is what you said before about the background, the international background. The I was really, I learned a lot from the different backgrounds that were the other students bringing to the table during the MBA. And that international background for me is very important. And here in Monaco is particularly true. So during my 2 years, because I did a part-time, as you said, I could learn and exchange with different backgrounds, but also different culture. The cultural component is also important, especially when you work on a group project. So I had other students from Russia, from the States, from South Africa, from everywhere in the world. And I knew that that was a component of the MBA here in Monaco. Another component is about IUM being really specialized in luxury and finance, that are both of them a big passion for me and very, very interested. So there are courses that, of course, are mandatory for all the students. And then there were electives specialized in luxury and finance that I could take, and they were really, really insightful for me. And the third component is maybe the way the part-time is structured. So being a full-time employee and also a mom of two, I couldn't take a sabbatic year to do the full-time. And actually, I found that the part-time offer by IUM was perfect for me because I really enjoyed to do the same program as the full-timers, but at a different pace. And that pace was perfect for me because I could learn. I could, of course, also going on with the other commitments that I have, but also I could implement and leverage on those learning on my daily life.
Right. Okay, thank you. And indeed, you touched upon some, again, unique features, I think, of the Monaco MBA program. And again, I've worked in different business schools across Europe, and the MBA program at IUM is so multicultural. It really is. I mean, if we literally have students from every continent in the cohort. It's not just, oh, we have an American or we have some European, literally from every continent. So, if we have a cohort with 2 Americans, so this past year, we had 2 American gentlemen, one full-time, one part-time, out of the 25, give or take, students. So all of a sudden, the Americans were the dominant nationality because we only had one student from other countries, a student from, Ghana, a student from Poland, a student from Bolivia, a student, etc. So it's very, very multicultural, and it's a wonderful learning experience in that respect as well.
Yeah.
And again, it's different to other business schools where, if you go to a business school in France, of course, you'll have international students, but you'll probably have a majority of French students. Same thing in the UK, you'll probably, majority of British students, etc. Whereas the IUM MBA program is really diverse. The other thing which is quite interesting as well about the MBA program, at IUM is that, as you mentioned, IUM is specialized in luxury and in wealth management. And it's not because, the school just decided, let's specialize in this. No, it's because IUM is rooted in the Principality of Monaco. It's anchored in this, small place of 2 square kilometers, which has achieved a worldwide reputation, for over a century now, as a center for luxury hospitality, luxury services. And of course, concomitant to luxury is wealth management and finance. So these 2 tracks basically are very closely correlated with what Monaco does best. So it only makes sense that the MBA program would also have electives in these 2 fields. And again, students, you may choose electives in luxury only or electives in wealth management only, or you can combine. So, and again, it's rooted in what Monaco is well known for. So I think that's another element. And again, as you mentioned, the part-time program is really designed for professionals who can't or would prefer not leaving their home country, would prefer not leaving their jobs full-time or their families full-time, but they're still able to work together with full-time students. So it's not like you're a part-time student, you only work with part-time students and full. No, it's one MBA program with a cohort which is composed of those students who follow it in 1 year and those students who follow it in 2 years, for practical, personal, professional reasons. So that's another element, I think, which is unique to our Monaco MBA program. So, I mean, looking back at all this, what stands out most for you when you think about, you know, the MBA program at IUM? What stands out most for you? What do you really recollect?
Yeah, now I risk to repeat myself, but for sure the international environment was a big component, and really I'm still, of course, in touch. They became part of my extended family, all the other students, and it was good to learn from different cultures and then to have different perspective when working on group projects. Very, very high level of everything from the professor, the classes, and also the other classmates. So I met a very high-end professionals during the MBA, and that was a very important component for me. I was very happy. I knew about that before starting my MBA, but I might admit that I was even surprised by the high quality of the entire network.
Right.
And then for sure, yeah, the component of learning from each other for me was very important. Some concepts, of course, were not pretty new to me, but refreshing those with new pair of eyes and with the angle of different cultures for me was very unique.
In fact, we were just talking before we went live online, and I learned that, you know, several of your classmates from way back when, you know, recently like, gotten married, had not only new jobs and new positions and all that, but also, you know, new lifestyles, and you're still all in contact, going to each other's weddings, etc. So it's, you know, one is in South Africa, the other one, I believe, is in Switzerland, you know, but you all met here and pursuing different career routes. But again, you know, these moments in significant moments in life, like a wedding, like a marriage, etc., you know, you get to sort of meet up again, which is always very, you know, heartening. And there's some continuity, even after the MBA, right?
Yeah,
That's
it's
cool.
a big component, right? In the sense that you really have a strong bond during, because you spend a lot of time together during the day, during the classes, during the work projects.
Exactly. And also, we are a deliberately small MBA program. We don't want to have 100 students where basically people find it very difficult to get to know each other. You know, we're always around, give or take, 25 students, which allows that sort of networking and bonding to take place. So that's, I think, another element. But I mean, it must have been difficult for you because you've had many years of experience in the workforce, you know, before deciding to do the MBA. I mean, you were thinking about it, but then you said, okay, I'm going to do it, and I'm going to do it, you know, 2019, etc. What was it like to transition from, I would say, a fairly high-paced work environment back into an academic environment? I mean, what was that like?
Yeah, that was a big change, and also I felt a little bit nervous before starting the MBA because, of course, as you said, I was pretty busy with my daily job. I also travel a lot because of what I'm doing, and of course, also the family component is important. So I was a bit nervous because I really wanted to take this MBA, but I wanted to make sure that I could succeed, that I could really have the time then to do it right and to take the most out of it. So that was a component. I remember that I asked you several times to meet for a coffee and a chat because I really wanted to make sure that I could succeed. That was the part that makes me feel a little bit nervous. And in the end, it was a very natural transition. So when we started, I think it was in September, then you immediately, I love the academic environment. So it came very, very naturally. And the only maybe challenge was for me that I had, of course, to combine my daily commitment, my job commitment with the MBA. So quite often I had to study early in the morning and then attend classic and then maybe studying during the lunch break or during the night, weekends, and so on for a couple of years.
Right.
But it was never painful because I really enjoyed. I really enjoyed a lot. It gave me a lot.
No. And I think that's a key element to it. You know, I think anybody who decides to do an MBA, whether full-time or part-time, if you're working full-time, you know, working full-time and studying part-time, and especially with a family, of course, there are going to be challenges, but it really depends on your mindset and attitude in terms of, you know, how one confronts that. So And if I recall, you actually graduated top of your class on top of it all, I think. So
I did. It was I was very proud of that. You know, it
Yes.
was a big achievement because it meant a lot to me because yeah, it was a good recognition and it's not about the grade. It's about, you know, feel rewarded for all the investment that I did. And yeah, it was worth it.
Yeah, yeah. So, I mean, looking back, are there any significant insights or lessons that you'll carry with you moving forward after the
So,
intensive years?
a lot of, for sure. So I learned a lot. I could refresh a lot of things that I knew, but you know, again, looking at them with a new pair of eyes, I think my biggest learning is the kind of way you approach challenges in life or during your daily life. So you really, after an MBA, you are skilled to approach it in a more problem solving mindset. That was a big outcome for me.
Mm-hmm.
I think it also, in a way, contributed to my self-confidence in my daily life, you know, when approaching a new project or a new challenge or so, and we face them every day.
Yes.
And yeah, I think that was the component that was more important for me, the problem-solving mindset that you're really skilled after an MBA with a lot of different perspectives. You can combine them all.
Yeah, yeah. I frequently think, you know, that one of the biggest learnings of an MBA is you learn about others and you learn about yourself. Of course, you learn theory. Of course, you learn, you know, how to frame a problem. Of course, you learn which theory to apply and which sort of practical managerial situation, et cetera. But I think one of the biggest learnings is about oneself and the confidence, you know, that if you can do an MBA, basically you can do anything because it's not an easy program. It's very transversal. So if you're very good, let's say quantitatively, that doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be very good in marketing and communication, you know. And if you're very good, let's say in marketing and strategizing and critical thinking, that doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be very good, let's say in financial statement analysis or accounting. So you basically have to adapt your mindset to a whole different series of situations, challenges, requirements, etc. And once you finish that, you can't help but feel confident in yourself. So I think that's another, shall we say, very good byproduct, so to speak, of the MBA, which can be applied anywhere in life because confidence is an important, shall we say, facet for anyone doing anything. So, I mean, finally, do you have, I mean, there are probably some other people maybe watching now or, you know, contemplating doing an MBA, a professional doing an MBA, he or she is in their office and wondering, you know, should I do an MBA as well? You know, any advice you would give them?
Yeah, I think to embark on this journey, it for sure they will not regret. They will be surprised of what they will learn, as you said, also about themselves, not only about how to relate, how to approach challenges, but also to, yeah, I would immediately suggest to embark on this journey. They will never regret. They will get even more than what they could expect.
Right. Thank you very much. And I look forward to seeing you, you know, in the flesh soon again for a coffee somewhere in Monaco.
Yeah, with pleasure.
So thank you very much. And I leave the floor to Mario in case there are questions or.
Yes, actually, so far there are no specific questions to Marina. So I would just like to add that I'm the admission manager dedicated to this program. So I just wrote in the chat my email in case you would like to know more about the program, admission process, student life, and everything else. And just would like to thank you again, Marina, for being here and sharing your experience as a past student of our MBA. And thank you, Marika, for conducting this conversation so clearly. So, well, thank you again. And let's meet soon, guys, by email, phone, or maybe here in presence at IUM very soon. Oh, there's just a new one, and it's a thanks. So appreciation from the public. So again, thank you and see you soon.
Thank you.
Thank
and
you
have
both.
a great summer, everyone, if we don't meet before. Okay.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye. Thanks.